It's like gold dust. You hear me coming through your speakers. You see me mashing up your airwaves. I know you can't get enough of my sound.
So we're going to do a short video on mine and Jake's thoughts of the game Saints Row 4. We're just going to cover a few topics and we hope you enjoy it. What do you think of it?
The game itself, I thought it was really fun actually. It was, you know, it had a lot of inappropriate shit in there. Complete stuff that didn't make any sense at all.
Any sense whatsoever.
Which
yeah, that's
made
pretty
the
much
game,
Saints
really.
Row. You see, I don't know, like, I think the way it's changed from Saints Row 1 all the way up to Saints Row 4, it's a massive change. It's practically changed the game itself. I mean, the gangs and stuff still exist, but it doesn't really have that feeling where you're kind of taking over, like, territories with your gangs. You're just kind of taking over it by yourself, you know? I mean, you didn't really need anybody now. You didn't really need gangs, to be honest. I mean, when have we ever used
the homies?
Homies,
for
like,
example,
I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun to call them and, like, you know, like mess around with them, but I don't know. It's changed from when you're in Saints Row to Saints Row 4. Obviously, you could tell the change, but from, I don't know. I think the game's changed a little bit too much, but at the same time, it's still kind of fun, but it gives you less of a challenge in my opinion. It's a little bit less of a challenge.
It's gone from gangs battling each other to a fully fledged superhero game.
Exactly.
Essentially, it's completely changed. From exactly what it started off as.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Saints Row the Third still had a bit of that gang element in there, but even that was just like crazily different, running with dildo bats and things.
Yeah, I mean, the dildo bat's still there. Which it's quite amusing. Find that most of the stuff is actually still in the game. I think the story though. I think the story. Obviously, every story is different. Now, this one just feels like it's a little bit repetitive, in my opinion, because what it seems to be is when you start out, you're kind of going around, you're kind of figuring what's going on and how to like solve it, and then eventually you're in the ship. The ship's like your main home. It's like kind of like a safe place, if you want to call it, like something like that. And then after that, you just tend to go and rescue everyone else that's been took by Zinyak from when you were abducted from the White House.
Yeah,
so
it's just you just do the same thing over and over. It's just kind of like fair enough at some of the endpoints, like
the endpoints.
When you're rescuing Johnny Gat, it's like you get to do the whole Streets of Rage game, which was pretty freaking awesome.
That was pretty good, actually.
But then it's like when you're rescuing Pierce, you're fighting a giant can.
Yeah.
Of, Saints 4.
I mean, I enjoyed them too, but apart from that, like, I think they all had their unique little parts, but at the same time, you kind of felt right. So this mission, we're going to do something different to rescue Kinsey. We're going to do something different to like everything tied in well, and didn't get us wrong. What do you call them?
Missions.
The missions were like good, and I enjoyed some of them. But like once you've done one, then you've done another, you kind of get the whole point of right. It's just becoming a little bit more repetitive. Yes, it's different places, different things, but you kind of get the feeling of where it's gonna go. You're gonna rescue all of them. You're gonna do like different stuff for each one of them, and then eventually you're gonna get a Zinyak. You can kind of see how the story's gonna lead.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it for the story.
The story still felt just pretty much, very linear. Just like Saints Row the Third, you go through, you battle all the people. You rescue everyone, you eventually get the end, you beat Zinyak, that's it, bam.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can see it coming from once you've got the grip of the game, which isn't really hard. It's just once you've got that, it's straightforward from there. It's like you're just pretty much straight through. I mean, it's at times it would be interesting, but I think if that was the story and there was no superpowers, then I think the game would probably. I would say
just
maybe
wouldn't have been as fun.
I
the
don't think it would have
superpowers
been
made
as
the
fun.
game.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
you can just run around now and just glide around and beat the crap out of people with your super strength, whack them like tens of Miles just with a dildo bat.
Exactly. So it's just obviously Saints Row has been unrealistic, but at the same time, I think the superpowers were essential for the game to actually be
Successful.
successful. But when you talk about the game itself, the graphics from Saints Row 3 to Saints Row 4, my opinion, I can't really see any difference.
Yeah, I literally can't tell the difference between the graphics from the Saints Row the Third to Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
There's like, fair enough, there's new effects like for the
Yeah,
superpowers and stuff, but
Mhm.
the vehicles have just been reskinned. Like the UFOs, they're just basically reskinned versions of the VTOL planes.
Yeah, yeah.
And same with the bikes. So they're just literally everything is just copied over.
Yeah, it's just been like pretty much like being put another pattern on, and then it's just being put back out there, and it's kind of the same. Everything's pretty much the same apart from you got superpowers. The things look a bit different, things act a bit different, which is quite funny at times because you get the funny parts, and then like you get the ones where they're just like normal, like in Saints Row 3. So I guess for the graphics it hasn't really changed, but to be honest, I didn't think the graphics really does mean anything in a game like this. So in my opinion, it kind of
the graphics weren't a huge need of upgrade. They were pretty much fine how they were, but they didn't change that much.
No. But they did work on the weapons and the customization of them, because obviously you had a go of it. I haven't quite had a go of customizing my weapons, but I think the weapons customization was pretty good.
That is by far some of the best ones, because you can take the standard SMG and turn it into like a gangster's mini Tommy gun.
Exactly.
Or turn the dual pistols into something like the captain's guns off Firefly. Or Han Solo's pistols, which is just awesome.
Yeah, I mean the weapons also you can upgrade a lot more than what you could in the last one. So it's kind of good that you can do that, but like obviously you're eventually gonna get every upgrade in it, and then you're gonna have like probably one of the best weapons on the game. And I think it's better you can customize them as well, because you could have a lot of fun with just running around and using them different weapons and different customization of them. But
even then, I found I didn't use weapons a whole much. I was more of just diving in with my powers, jumping back up in the air, slamming back into the ground, sprinting around, slamming into the ground. I didn't really use the guns and things a huge amount like I would have in Saints Row the Third.
Yeah.
It was more of just they were there if I needed them.
Yeah. It kind of felt as if sometimes you were invincible, like when you had small groups, but obviously there was at times when you think, oh god, this is quite a big group, and then like you got the shields on some of the people, so you'd have to get rid of them. So they kind of like made you use your powers as well as use weapons to get rid of certain things. You know what I mean? So the powers were useful for getting shields off people, or like big monsters. I don't know what you call them, but the big wardens, guys that come down. So that was alright. So I guess they kind of try to mix it in, but I guess the powers kind of you use the powers more than you do the weapons. You only use the weapons when you want to get done like very quick, like headshots and stuff. So but it was pretty much it on the weapons. But apart from that, Saints Row has always had random shit in the game, so it hasn't changed that.
There's a lot of fun collectibles and things. Like as soon as you start the game, I mean, you get your powers within the first hour.
Yeah,
so then
it's pretty good.
And there's these the clusters lying around. I think there's like 300 or so that they actually collect. And I mean, you can just run around, upgrade your powers, get bigger area of effect damage on some of your powers. There's like Zinniac statues you can blow up. There's all the other different challenges, like was it insurance fraud with superpowers? That was awesome. Then there's like the destruction ones, where you drive around the giant robot or power armor, as they say, and you just blow shit up. Or you just run around with a rocket launcher and blow shit up. I mean, that shit just makes the game.
Yeah, I think it does. Also, the amusing bit in what was the store called? Was it where you go downstairs?
The Easter egg. Oh, there was the.
It was where all the game developers' faces were.
Yeah, there was the basement of some place where it was just full of all the game developers' faces. Then you shot them and they blew up into rainbows,
fireworks, and it was pretty good. That I enjoyed some of them, but the Easter eggs are limited unless obviously there's more to be found. I mean, we've just pretty much played the story and
Yeah, like in some of the missions, like when you have to save Matt and that, you have all the different Easter egg references to like a bunch of old sci-fi films. Like you got references to War Games, Star Wars. There was another one I can't remember, but that was in there. It was pretty awesome, just like Initiate Order 66 and that.
Oh yeah. They've brought definitely a lot of things back to it. So I think that's what makes the game. It's random, it's fun, it's just something that you can chill out, you can do, you can mess around. It's a game I'd probably say you'd enjoy most when you're playing with other people, because it's alright when you're playing by yourself to complete quests and that, but I think playing with other people is a lot more fun than just playing by yourself.
Yeah.
So definitely a fun game. So yeah. So I guess that wraps that up. And I think we'll give it a rating. Well, I'm going to give it my rating. You can give it whatever you want. I think for the game itself, being Saints Row, it's like you expect what you expect out of Saints Row. So I think I'm going to go with. I go with about a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10 for me, because it wasn't poor, but it wasn't great, so it didn't really deserve that 10. So I guess the 7 out of 10 just shows how much fun you can have on it, and that kind of stuff. So what about your rating?
Yeah, well, my rating, I'll base entirely on how fun it was, and I'd give it a good I'll go with 7.5 rating. Just that little half pushes a little bit further.
Yeah.
Just simply because it is just tons of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay, then that wraps everything up.
Yeah, that would be it, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.
Yep, see you in the next one.